Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sir Robin.
And I'm Captain Crow.
And if you don't know who Sir Robin is, it's me.
And if you don't know who Captain Crow is, it's me!
It's him.
Yes.
Excellent. So, once again, we are in the beautiful land of Shulin on a field trip.
Yep. Very far.
Very far away. We, today, are going to be learning about some of our local American myths. So we're going to be talking about the Cherokee tribe, the Sioux Nation, and the Aztec Empire. And so to start with, I want to go ahead and start with the Sioux Nation. And all of these different groups of people all did archery, and they all had different cultures and different ways about doing archery and how they lived their lives. And we're going to start with the Sioux Nation that lived in the area in South Dakota and the Great Plains. And when you think about, you see teepees, this was the group of people, the Sioux Nation, that lived in teepees. So if you ever see a teepee, most likely you're looking at a traditional Sioux home, because they lived on the Great Plains and hunted the different animals that migrated, like the buffaloes.
Would that then make them a hunter-gatherer?
It would most certainly make them a hunter-gatherer. So depending on the seasons, they would have to take their home, package it up, and go to a different area where their food sources were. Wow, which would be the buffalo. And one of the things that makes them specifically different about the bows and arrows that they used for hunting is because they were hunting buffalo or elk or other animals like the big horned sheep and ram. They were able to construct their bows and arrows out of horn. Ooh. So they would go ahead and add horn to their bows and make their bows very strong because they could use the bow.
You would definitely need a strong bow to shoot something as big as a buffalo.
Exactly. Their bows are traditionally considered to be about 80-pound pull strength.
Well, that's a lot.
That is, most definitely. The bows that we typically use in class are somewhere between 14 and 16 pounds.
An Olympian usually uses a bow that's between 45 and 65 pounds.
Exactly. So the Sioux are shooting something significantly stronger with 80 pounds so that it could most definitely pierce and put down a buffalo without it getting hurt and limping away. Because if you're going to eat it and you're going to be using it, you want to make sure that you put it down as quickly as you can. But I want to go ahead and move on to our next group of people, the Cherokee. And the Cherokee, they lived in Tennessee, Kentucky area, known as the Smoky Mountains.
Ooh.
Yes, the Smoky Mountains. Now, they were not specifically a group that moved from one place to another for migratory reasons. They would actually find a river and begin building their houses there. Thatched houses out of wood, and that were very strong and very sturdy. Actually just as strong as a log cabin. You could go up to a log cabin, knock on it, push it. The way they constructed these thatched houses, it's going to be very strong. The bows and arrows that they're going to be using are going to be wood. And their strings, we'll just talk about their strings, why not? Most American tribes, the strings that they were making were going to be made out of something called sinew. And that means that you're going to an animal, probably like a rabbit or a cat, something like that, and you're going to get its tissue fibers, and you're going to stretch that out and make a string out of that. However, not all tribes in America use sinew. Some actually took yucca plant and wove it. And that's really cool because out here in California, we have yucca all over the place. It's the plant that's green, it grows up, and then once, every so often, it grows a big stem out of the center. And so you can use it to make string out of.
So I wanted to go back and mention one more thing about their houses and how you can tell how they got their food because they lived in thatched houses, which means they didn't move around like the Sioux Nation did. So they were farmers, and they are most known for farming corn, actually.
Excellent, yeah, excellent, very good. All right, now we're going to talk about the last group here in America that we're going to talk about. But we're going to have to go a little bit more south from just North America, and we're going to go to Mesoamerica specifically. And we are going to be talking about the Aztecs!
Whoa, the Aztecs!
The Aztecs!
The Aztecs!
The Aztecs! Now, the Aztecs are really cool because when you see those pictures or those images of pyramids here in America, probably, most likely, we are going to be talking about the Aztec pyramids that they constructed out of stone. And so that makes it really cool. They built big, gigantic structures out of stone. So what does that tell you? Are they migratory?
No, because they're building large structures, so that means they have to live in one area.
Exactly, out of stone. They're building those pyramids. And the Aztec Empire specifically lasted from 1300 AD to 1521 AD.
Whoa, that's actually pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guess of something that's really, really famous that's older than that you would not expect?
Something older than those great gigantic pyramids?
Yeah, it's where you would go to school.
That's
your
school?
hint. What school is older than those pyramids?
I have no idea.
It would be Oxford University, which was actually started in 1096.
Ooh.
So they're like almost 200 years older than these pyramids.
Exactly. Wow. All right. So those pyramids are actually, if you go to them, they're pretty new pyramids, I guess.
Yeah.
If you consider it that way. Still old, I guess, in comparison to me or you or ourselves, but in the timeline of history, they're actually very new pyramids. So that is a very fun thing. Now, another interesting thing about the Aztecs, yes, they had bow and arrow technology just like the Cherokee and just like the Sioux. However, the Aztecs, they preferred to use spears.
Whoa, why would you prefer to use a spear?
Well, I think they just thought that a bow and arrow might be too easy, or if you're going to go hunting, using a spear is just, it's more difficult or whatnot. I couldn't necessarily find any specific reasons as to it, but I can just take guesses. The spear, to hunt an animal with a spear, is significantly more difficult. It could also be because the area that they're living in has much more dense forestry. So, you know, the Sioux Nation, they're living on the Great Plains. There's lots of open space, so a bow and arrow is going to be very effective. You're not going to get any trees in the way. However, a spear, you're going to have to get closer, and so you're less likely to have trees in the way, and at that point you might as well just have a spear, I suppose. So they used spears. However, they did also invent something called the atlatl, and the atlatl was like an extra stick device that you put on the end of the spear, and it helped you throw it and give you some extra leverage. So we are going to go ahead and go outside to the fields of Schulen and play a little game that simulates hunter-gatherer society, I guess, to a little degree, and see which one of us is the best hunter-gatherer with spears, in fact. So we're not going to be using bows and arrows for our game. We're going to be using spears. So we'll see you out there. Until then, jump cut! Jump cut!
Doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. Doop 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 doop. Doop doop. Doop doop doop. Doop doo 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 doop boop doop doo 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 boop boop doo 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 doo.
All right, my friends, why don't we come right on over here just a little bit so we can see me and Captain Crow out here. We have constructed some spears. It's really just a big wooden dowel that we spray painted the end silver so that you can see which part is the sharp part. And we are going to be throwing our spears from back here out there to our deer. There's a lot of deer out there represented by the hula hoops. And to successfully hunt a deer, you're going to have to take this spear and throw it so that it lands inside. Now, if you catch a deer, you're going to go grab that deer and put it over in your pile over there, and that will be your food for the entire year until it is next year. You'll get 2 chances, but if you don't catch a deer and
Well, you don't have any food.
you have no food, which means you will be eliminated from the game. So we're gonna go ahead and start with me, and I'm gonna see if I can catch myself a deer. So I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my front hand out here just like this, kind of as an aiming point, and I'm gonna see if I can get that first one right there. Ah,
Ooh, so close.
so close.
Last try to see if you starve. Oh, we got 1 deer, and Sir Robin has survived the first year. Now, as you can see, he took that deer, and deer only replenish 1 per year. So now it's harder for me to collect a deer because we're all hunting the same fields. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Got the pointy end up front. Ooh, I missed my first one.
They're farther than you
They
think.
are farther than you think. Oh no. I guess I starve and cannot hunt anymore. So let's see if Lady Fern can not starve for this whole year. She has 2 tries. Hey, she got it. So go ahead and collect your deer, Lady Fern. And it will be the next year to see if any more of our tribes survive.
We can
Now,
replenish one.
1 deer comes back because that's all that comes back each year.
Excellent.
So we
All right,
are.
Lady Fern leaving her spears out there like a messy
I
person.
wasn't the only one.
All right, so now Sir Robin is going to try to not starve in this upcoming year. Ooh, he got a deer. Now, Sir Robin, would you like to hunt again even though you have food?
Nah, that would be wasteful.
Right, and we do not want to be wasteful. Lady Fern, let's see if you can get your next deer and survive. Ooh, close. Lady Fern has decided to go collect her spears rather than hunt again.
Yeah.
You get to hunt again.
You get to hunt one more time. Yes. Everybody gets 2 chances at hunting. Or they starve. Oh, unfortunately, Lady Fern has starved. So now, Sir Robin is the only tribe that survived. How?
Excellent. Now we're gonna go ahead and play this game one more time to show the advantages of a bow and arrow. So we're gonna go ahead, Lady Fern, you wanna grab that other deer, we're gonna put it out there, and we're gonna play this game one more time. So Lady Fern was able to last to the second round. I don't know how long I would have lasted, but it was pretty difficult. So I'm gonna put this deer out there. Actually, Lady Fern is gonna put that deer out there, and then we're gonna try to see if we can play this game with the bows and arrows and see how long the game lasts that way. 2 arrows will be the maximum number of arrows that you get to use in a year. All right, so here we go. Keep your eyes on close. There we go. I got a deer. That means Lady Fern, you're on up next.
So now that's 1 deer gone, and remember, deers only repopulate 1 per year.
In our game.
Ooh, Lady Fern got 1 as well.
Did Captain Crow get one?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Looks like everyone succeeded this time. Go ahead, why don't you leave that one deer out there? All right.
Ooh, we got another deer for Sir Robin.
That is one deer for Captain Crow.
And one deer for Lady Fern.
All right, why don't you go ahead and leave that one out there, that deer out there. All right, Captain Crow, why don't you go ahead and take the next one? Captain Crow missed.
I missed.
He gets one more arrow. That'll take it.
Let me go get my deer.
Ooh, I missed.
Sir Robin missed. Looks like these last two deers were harder to get. And Sir Robin has gotten his.
That means it is now Lady Fern's turn.
Here you go, Lady Fern. Here are some arrows for you.
The year isn't over. I don't get one more punishment.
No, the year isn't over.
The year is
Which
not
means
over.
there are no deer for you.
Nope.
Which means Lady Fern is eliminated.
Now there's one deer left.
Oh, they are both going to go after the same deer.
Yay! So as you can see, using a bow and an arrow is much more advantageous to hunting, which means using the bow and arrow for hunting is a definite advantage, and it's significantly easier. For us, I'm sure it was easier for them as well. So we're gonna go ahead and go back inside and learn a
myth about the Cherokee Nation and the way that they used bows and arrows in their myths and why that myth was important.
excellent. All right, until then, we'll see you then.
Jump cut?
Yep, that thing. All right.
Jump cut. So the hunter-gatherer game was much harder than what it looked. It was very hard to throw those spears.
Yes.
So,
And we were only throwing them maybe 10 feet.
yeah, imagine trying to hit a target that's 50 feet away.
And moving.
That's going to be very hard.
Very difficult. I think I could probably do it with a bow, but
I don't think I could do it with the spear.
definitely cannot do it with a spear. Yeah. It would take a lot longer to train to do that.
Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and learn now about this Cherokee myth. And it is the myth of Egen Unsi. And who this was is this man was a medicine man in the Cherokee tribe. And he was tasked with getting a diamond out of the great serpent's forehead. And that great serpent's name was Uktena. And I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but we're gonna try. Because there's a lot of these little like marks over the U's and over the E's and over the A's that I really don't know how to pronounce. So we're gonna just say it the best we can. Now, first, what Egan Unsi did is he traveled all around the land that the Cherokee knew were dangerous areas, looking for this great serpent. So first he went to the mountains, where he found another big snake, but it wasn't the right one. Then he went over to the forests, and he found another giant snake, but it wasn't the right one. So he went south, and south he found another mountain range, and in that mountain range, he found a giant lizard, which was also very dangerous, but it wasn't the right thing. So he kept looking, and finally he thought to himself, I'm gonna go as far as I can. And that is where he found the great snake Unteka sleeping. And when it was sleeping, he had the advantage. So what he did is he drew an arrow, knocked it in his bow, and shot the snake through the heart. However, this snake was so powerful, it didn't die right then. It was still alive for just a little bit longer, so with its last few breaths, it used that diamond in its forehead to shoot a fire beam at our hero, Egan Unsi, but he had the reflexes to jump out of the way of that fire attack. And so the snake then died, but he still was not able to go up and get the diamond because the snake was poisonous and it was putting off poisonous gas. So Egan Unsi decided that he would call all of the birds in the forest to come over and help him eat the snake. So the birds ate the snake, and they even ate its bones, but they revealed the diamond was still left after they were done eating. And one more thing, all of the snake's blood became a river. And that's where they ended up dyeing certain reeds for certain activities, like certain weaving of stuff. That's where that comes from.
How interesting.
Yeah. So one of the main things to take away from this story is the fact that this story was used to tell of the landscape and all of the dangerous animals you might find there, and how our hero was able to overcome those and still get that diamond so that way he could do his job better.
Yes. And that snake had hyper beam fire attack.
Yeah, it did shoot lasers out of its forehead.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Just like a Pokemon, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar.
It was like super cool.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our exercise portion of today. So we're gonna go ahead and invite Lady Fern on up here, and she's gonna do some wonderful exercises with you. So go ahead and get your exercising feet out and your exercising eyes on, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Grab a chair.
Oh yes, my chair. Do 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 da 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 da.
Hi everyone. So as usual, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our exercises. We usually do it with our arms, so get ready, shake them out, because here we go. We're gonna start with our arm stretches, so go ahead, take one arm and swing it across your chest. Give it your elbow a nice push. Remember, you always want to be looking up for these stretches and exercises. That's really important. And if you're in our older kid class, you want to challenge yourself and maybe do another set after our first 10-second set. So here we go. We're going to do 10 seconds. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Go ahead, swing that down and stretch the other arm across for another 10 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Now for the other arm stretch, lift up our elbow, super nice and high. And this one is really important. You'll keep looking straight forward or possibly look up to the ceiling. Here we go for another 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. And go ahead, other side for another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, we're going to do our favorite arm circles. Remember, if you're older, go ahead, try to do this for 20, forward and back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead get our legs nice and warmed up. So we're going to go ahead, touch our toes for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And then we're going to do each leg of the famous flamingo is what I like to call it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, go ahead and switch. Make sure you have balance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now that our legs are nice and stretched out, we're gonna go ahead and run in place. Remember, if you're older, try and do it for maybe 20 or 30 seconds, but right now, we're gonna go ahead and just do a good 10 seconds. Ready? Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now we have both arms and legs. We're gonna go ahead and do our whole full body. So I'm gonna go into and do 5 burpees. I'm gonna take my hat off for this one. And I'm gonna count when I go up. So here we go. Ready? And go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, last one.
5.
Whew. All right. Now, to keep our whole body going, I'm going to go ahead and do our push-ups. Remember, we're going to go ahead and just do 10. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost there. 8, 9, last one, 10.
Woo, 10.
Yay! All right, I think that is good. When everybody should be nice and warmed up like I am. So now I'm going to go ahead and send Sir Robin back on in to finish us off.
Alrighty then. So, that is all the time we have for today. Now, the homework today is going to be a little bit easier. I don't want you to do too much work today, give you a little bit of a break. But what I do want is you to give me some more work. I want you to go ahead and find another American tribe that you want to learn stuff about and how they did archery. Or, if you want to pick another culture from around the world that we haven't covered yet, go ahead and do that. And email me which one you want us to talk about and cover and teach you some history about. So find any culture from around the world at any time period, and we are going to try to cover 3 or maybe 4 of yours next week. So until then, I'll see you then. Hands on in, everyone. On 3, we're gonna say chicken noodle soup. 1, 2, 3. Chicken noodle soup!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.